Hey everyone, Bonj7 here. How y'all doing today? Today's video is kind of a updated video, if you want to call it that. A while back, I posted my video of my Lugia deck when I first built it. It was, pretty clunky. Actually, it still played very well, but I finally got the deck to where I want it to be. It's regional ready. This is the one I am going to play at regionals in Toronto, Canada, so I cannot wait. Um, so yeah, the one thing that's nice, if you guys remember from my Greninja video, this is a new coin I have chosen for this deck, is the shiny red Gyarados, which shines really nicely. And also for today's video, I decided to give you guys a free code. So, as soon as we give it a little focus, there you go. A nice little evolutions pack for you guys. I will be playing eventually on there as soon as I get a better tablet, which hopefully is going to be in a couple weeks. But yeah, as soon as I get everything set, I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter, and maybe I can start shooting some videos of me playing online. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still working on, everything here, but I promise you guys I'm trying really hard to get some videos out, and eventually my Twitter will be updated like where it was. But yep, as soon as everything's all set, I'll let you guys know. But here you go. We are done with this code. I just tear them apart so that way I don't reuse them again. Kind of my filing system. But yeah, without further ado, my deck box. I don't think I told you guys this, but I'm a little colorblind. A lot of people said this is dark blue. I see this as black. But to me, I'm still going to call it black because that's what I see it as. But yeah, but it's not too bad being colorblind. It's just weird how colors do seem a little different to me than you guys, but it's no problem. But without further ado, this is a standard 6-card deck. If you guys want to keep track, this is exactly 60. I've not seen anybody build this deck yet. The Dragonite deck, I could say, is probably the closest I've seen to this deck. Considering it does use the Fairy Energy double colorless energy combo. But yeah, it's done really well. I love Lugia's ability. But yeah, the deck has been updated a little bit. It's got nice new green sleeves. Sorry if some have a shine. I didn't know the two sleeves I bought. One was a basic card sleeve, and one did not have the glare on it. And I did not know they made non-glare sleeves. I always remember them being really shiny. But yep. Without further ado, let's get started. And I will. First thing we have, I run 10, and I will be getting another. Thank goodness my buddy does have another generation's fairy energy, but I run 10 fairy energies. This is the main reason why. This is still a evolution's regular energy, but it's 10 fairy energy, 4 double colorless energies. Try to get the glare down. There we go. Double colorless provides 2 double colorless energies. Nice thing to have. Now, if you guys are new to the Pokemon scene, give you guys a heads up with double colorless energies or anything colorless energy. A colorless energy counts as a colorless energy. It does not count as any energy that could fill in for it. Like a double dragon energy provides any energy if it's attached to a Pokemon, and a rainbow energy also counts as any energy. But these, I cannot slap this on say, like Xerneas and count this as a fairy energy. It's not. It says right in the text, provides double colorless energy. But what's nice on double colorless Pokemon or normal Pokemon, if you want to call it, it will use any energy, which is kind of weird. I always thought when I was younger that this was a wild card, could provide any 2 energies of your choice. But nope, counts as only 2 double colorless energies. That's it. And here is the star 4 Lugia EXs. has 170 HP, has Arrow Ball, which does this attack does 20 damage times the amount of energies attached to both active Pokemon. Going against like a Charizard deck or that, like the newer ones, the Mega ones that does a 300 attack, that takes 4 energies to power that up. And usually you would get Deep Hurricane off first. I'll read that real quick. Deep Hurricane does 80 damage, plus if there's a stadium card in play, this attack does 70 more damage. Then discard that stadium. Now that's an amazing maneuver. It does 150 points of damage instantly, and you remove the stadium. That's really awesome. But what's nice is you use Deep Hurricane, and say you don't get a stadium card down, no other stadium card goes down. You still have enough to do Arrow Ball, which does automatically 80 points of damage. Now what I like is I go against a Charizard deck. Usually it knocks out one of my poor Lugias, but it does 50 damage to itself, and right off the bat, saying that has 8 energies and 4 energies to use it, and this has 4, that's 8. So this thing does 160 points of damage. And Charizard's already hit with 50 damage, after the attack's done. So that's an automatic one-hit KO. So Lugia could easily take down the Mega Charizard that does 300 damage. That's just an example, but yes, I do run 3 regular Lugia EXs, and I do like the regular EX print better than the full art. Just to me, I don't know, I like the artwork. It's a lot better. It goes from, end to end. Pieces, it's just so nice. Now, Deep Hurricane's expensive, just like Dragonite. It takes 4 energies to do. Well, that's why we have our buddy here, Xerneas. Xerneas has 130 HP, which is really good, and he can take a few good hits and still keep standing. But you have Geomancy. If you guys are not familiar with it, choose 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a Fairy Energy and attach it to that Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. Which is really nice. So it's any Pokemon. It doesn't have to be a basic. And then in case you have to use him as an attacker, which I've used him before a couple times as an attacker, use Rainbow Spear. Let me find here we go. So that's the unglared sleeve. Discard an energy, and this thing does 100 points of damage. And what I like about it's got resistance against darkness, so if you're going against like a Darkrai Yveltal deck, really good. But yep, I run 4 Xerneases. Very good card to have. I run 2 Remoraid's. I use the Wild... cannot talk today. The Wild River ability. There's another one that has Ion Pool. It's not bad because it destroys 1 stadium card in the field. Well, we don't want our Remoraid destroying it. We want our Lugia to. And what's nice is when you use Wild River, switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Lot better. And this is from the Breakthrough set. So yes, and one is Reverse Hollow. Usually I always say, I don't like to use shiny cards, Reverse Hollows that much. But I have yet to find another regular one. So I like running this one. It's nice, it's a Reverse Hollow, but I just didn't get it because I want, these Reverse Hollows. If I have the cards, I play them. But yep, 2 Remoraid's. That means our main draw supporter is Octillery. Now I have 1 non-hollow from the Rayquaza Keldeo deck, and I actually pulled a regular hollow Octillery. And everybody knows the famous Abyssal Hand. Once during your turn, you may draw up to 5 cards. Draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. So we just use him for the ability. And he does have a high retreat cost, but which is nice. I'll show you here in a bit with Octillery, but he's really good draw supporter in case, you get stuck and, 5 cards in your hand. That's really awesome. But that's really it for Pokemon. So, it's not bad, a little light on the basics, but I have 10 basics out of 60, so 1 out of 6 draws, so you most of the time always draw a basic Pokemon to start the game, which is always nice. So it does give your opponent those extra cards. But we'll start off with the supporter cards. I said sorry again that, these are Hexmaniac. I just had it in my set, so it's reverse hollow. I like using Hexmaniac, especially against Greninja, because I've actually beaten a Greninja deck thanks to this card numerous times. Till the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play in each player's hand and each player's discard pile has no abilities. Uh, it's a forgotten card. It came all the way back out in Ancient Origins, which is out of print, unfortunately. So Hexmaniac is still great. I do have a lot of extra ones of these, but I love this card. It's helped me a lot. One teammates. I used to run two teammates in this deck, but I only run one now. But usually I don't get this card till like late in the game, or if I get it at the beginning, I discard it instantly because it's still a really good card. But I found out one is enough, especially for how this deck plays out, and it's good. I like it. But if you guys don't know what it is, you can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Search your deck for any two cards. Don't even need to reveal them. Just search your deck for two cards, put them in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Really good card. We're running one Skyla. Alright, search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, put it in your hand. Really good. Running only two ends. Yep, only two. And it's the promo ones that came with the Keldeo deck. I do like this art. Him standing next to the Ferris wheels, another good one. But this one, I do like. That's why, I put in this deck. But everybody knows N. Shuffle your hand. Each opponent shuffles your hand. Draw for each amount of prize cards you have. So, Lysander, a lot of people know him already. Switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. So, don't have to go over him too much. And we're only running 3 Birch's Observation. Why not Sycamore? Well, with this deck, I do need every card in this deck. Throwing away him is not good to me. And I'm okay with his ability. If you guys don't know too much about this card, shuffle your hand into your deck. So it's like a Shauna or an N. Flip a coin. If heads, draw 7 cards. If tails, draw 4 cards. Now, you might think that's not that good, but I found out with this deck, it works out pretty well. Because I do have artillery, so if I draw a little short, I'm able to draw more cards. And and even with that, it by the end of the game, even if I flip tails, it's like end. Like I could knock out Pokemon like right away, get 2 prize cards, and I only have 4 left. So to me, this one's a little bit better than Judge, a little bit better than Shauna. So I like Birch better than Sycamore because I really don't want to discard any of these cards that are in this deck. So Birch wins over Sycamore. But you're like, why are you only running 3? Why not 4? Well, this is why. I play 1 Giovanni Scheme. Now he has 2 abilities. You only could choose 1 though, but you could use like an Abyssal Hand ability. Draw till you have 5 cards in your hand, so he's a draw supporter. Or during this turn, your Pokemon attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So yeah, it's either has a Muscle Band ability or has Abyssal Hand ability. So this is really nice. But that's why I only run 1 Birch because I do count Giovanni as another draw supporter. But yeah, this is a good card. And our Lugia, unfortunately, only has 170 hit points. Not up to EX level. Unfortunately, there's no Lugia EX. So that's thanks to the Fighting Fury Belt. This basically turns him into EX ability, EX power. A basic Pokemon this card is attached gets 40 HP and 10 more damage. Now, you think about that. I play Fighting Fury Belt on Lugia. Well, now he's up to 210 hit points, which is almost average for a standard EX, Mega EX. And now Deep Hurricane does 160 points of damage, which is insane. And Arrow Ball does 20 times whatever the energies plus 10. So yeah, though colorless Pokemon are not nobody's weak against a colorless Pokemon. Nobody is, or basic Pokemon or normal Pokemon. But it's really good to have Fighting Fairy Belt. Right now, I need a few more of these for the Volcanion deck, but I run only 3. I know that seems a little light, especially if any of them are prized and all that. But I do like I usually can dig for 1. I have Skyla in case of emergency, but Fighting Fairy Belts 3 is really good. Usually it's standard 3 to 4 depending on what you are, but I would never run less than 3. To me, that's insane if you're running only 3 Fighting Fairy Belts. Less than 3 Fairy Belts. 3 or 4. I stuck with 3. 3 is good for me. So those are fine. Okay. Now, the stadium card we use is I run 4 Fairy Gardens. These Fairy Gardens are amazing. Like with Lugia, thanks to Geomancy or that, I could switch him out for free with the retreat cost. And I was also talking about Octillery. Oh, somebody wants to be, a jerk and take out Octillery. Well, that's 2 energies to retreat him, or drop 1 fairy energy on him and just bring him back. So instead of the 2 costs, I'm only paying 1. So this is why I love Fairy Garden. So I run, and 4. Why 4? Because of Lugia. I need a stadium card on the field to deal the 150 points of damage, and 4 is the lucky number. So yep. So the best thing is to do, if you're running the Lugia deck, let your opponent play a stadium. If it's gonna be down to Stadium Wars, that's fine. Usually I say let your opponent play a stadium. You can knock it out. Use your Fairy Gardens, power it up again, knock them out. But yeah. But once they see Lugia's ability, knocking out the stadium, it's going to be questionable if they'll play another one. But, Fairy Gardens, you use for ammunition. Now, Lugia, still, he's expensive. 4 for the Deep Hurricane. How can you, make him power up faster? No, we run 4 Max Elixirs. Usually some people are familiar, but we'll go over this real quick. I'm trying to find a card that will focus. There we go. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Attach a basic energy card you find onto a basic Pokemon on your bench. So, yep. So, if everybody knows, Lugia is a basic. And he's mostly on the bench. Usually we have, Xerneas out first. But it's nice. Look at the top 6 card. Attach energy. Bam. Lugia is powered up even faster. So, that's really nice. So, yep. I always run 4 Max Elixirs. Always 4. Plus, like I said, we run 10 energies in here. So, it's 1 out of 6 draws. So, I like the odds. Use Geomancy, get them out quicker, but it's still really good. Max Elixir is awesome. Now, to search for them, I have 3 Ultra Balls. Now, a lot of people run 4. That's usually standard. But this deck's definitely anything but standard. But 3 Ultra Balls is enough for me. I've ran it numerous times. Usually, Ultra Ball doesn't pop up right away, but eventually, I do draw an Ultra Ball, so 4 is nice, but this deck runs really well with 3, so I'm not too worried about it. 3 V-Seekers, same thing. Usually, people run 4, but this deck has done really well with 3. So if you guys want to change it up with 3 V-Seekers or 4 V-Seekers, 4 Ultra Balls, go ahead. I'm okay with 3. 2, and yes, they are reverse hollow switches from the new generations. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Little way too shiny. But yep, switch is normal. And now these seem weird. Energy Switch. Now, why would I use Energy Switch? Why would Energy Switch be in any deck? This usually is a card just to, throw in your collection and call it a day. Well, I love Energy Switch because of Lugia. And it's just because of the Aero Ball ability. Now, say I use Deep Hurricane in the last battle, and say I knock out his basic Pokemon. Well, now he's going to throw up, let's just say Mega Audino. Let's go with this. And yes, I have beaten the Mega Audino deck with this deck numerous times. Now, Mega Audino takes 3 energies to use, okay? So I use Deep Hurricane, knocked out, there are now Audinos in play. Kind of a high Pokemon. Well, it runs 3, I run 4, okay? So, and he usually runs, 220 hit points. And if you guys, think this maneuver I've done before has been amazing. So, he has 220 hit points. Well, right now, there's 7 energies on the field, that's 140. Okay? Well, even if I get another double colorless energy, that's only 180. So I need another energy. So that's where this comes into play. Bam, energy switch. Now that's 200 points of damage with just Arrow Ball. And even in some other scenarios, say, you're playing, against somebody, they only run 2 energies. Well, say, you're going against Mega Scizor. Well, you have 4 energies. He has 2, that's 6. I could pull another one up from any other Pokemon. Usually, say if Artillery, I use the energy, switch them around. And that's another good scenario. Say, somebody pulls out my Artillery as my active Pokemon, and my Lugia is on the bench. And, they don't attack him. I take the 1 energy, I switch out Lugia, play energy switch, take that energy, and move it back to Lugia. He's ready to go. So mostly I use this for the Air Ball ability, and in case I really need an extra energy. And the best thing is like Geomancy too. You take, an energy card, you put it on 2 Pokemon. So like say, it's like turn 2 or 3. And you need 1 more energy to power up Lugia. Well, I use Geomancy. So I'm good. I need 1 more energy. Or no, let's say, let's say this is turn 2. Okay, so I play an energy on him. Say I hit Max Elixir, I hit it. Have an energy. Play an energy. And I use Geomancy. So that's still 1 energy short. Well, thanks to whoever is the other Pokemon that got the energy, I play energy switch, boom, Deep Hurricane, ready to go. I know, a lot of weird scenarios, but this is why I like, using Lugia. He's so, so versatile. But yeah, I run energy switch. You guys don't have to run it if you're trying to, make a new deck, but a deck like this one. But to me, this has helped so many times in the tournaments. I love it. It's great. And in case, everything's all said and that, and you need a discard card, just discard it. Say, Ultra Ball for, maybe an Artillery that. But energy switches to me in this deck is great. Helps me a lot. Now, you might be thinking like, okay, is there a Super Rod in here? Well, no, because what I think about this deck is if you're gonna knock out, my Lugias that, usually you get about 3 Lugias powered out, and they're, bam. So if 2 are prized, hopefully you get them. But I don't run Super Rod. I run a Energy Recycler. Again, back from Ancient Origins. Shuffle 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. And this card has saved me a lot just as much as they have too, because even late game, this is the best. So you've only used like 2 Max Elixirs, but you used a lot of energies thanks to Geomancy and all that. Shuffle all these back into your deck, play a Max Elixir, guarantee you're going to hit an energy every time. This card has been a really good help to me. I can't live without it in the deck. It's great. Now, that's great, but what about, your double colorless energies? Ones if they're knocked out. Well, special charge. Again, this is from Steam Siege. I'm glad they printed this card. It's amazing. But shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So yeah, that's really good. So let's say Lugia, you somehow have, two double colorlesses on Lugia, and he gets knocked out. Well, put those back in your deck. Use, Artillery, Giovanni, or N. I guarantee you'll draw it. This card's been a really big help. And, these 2 cards are never usually seen in decks. it's like, well, special charge I've seen a few people play because it does help, with Aldino or anybody who needs a double colorless or a double dragon. So special charge, I shouldn't say I've not seen it, but it's still very, very uncommon to see this, and this one's definitely very rare to see. Usually people like to use fishermen and all that, but I'm like, well, do I really want them in my hand? My Pokemon powered up, and mine, unlike my Volcanion deck, I don't need them for no special thing, or like Greninja, same thing. I put them into my hand. You can use Water Shuriken, but nah, double out for double colorless energies. Use special charge, all the other basics, energy recycler. So yeah, so that is mostly the deck. I should say not mostly. That is the whole deck. But yeah, I do. Ooh, nice little pile of stuff here. Stop that. But yeah, that is my Lugia deck. The one card everybody says it's missing from here is Poke Ranger. But usually the only thing I worry about, mostly Poke Ranger too much, is for Jolteon. And unfortunately I forgot to show you this, Lugia is weak against lightning, but he's resistance against fighting. So against Zygarde, he's good. But if you're facing any of those tool decks with Jolteon, yeah, it's gonna suck. Against weakness, same thing with Ampharos. When I face against an Ampharos deck, yeah, it's you when you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Wow, Yu-Gi-Oh. Wow, today's not my day. Today is not my day. I cannot speak. I just got out of work. I'm exhausted, but I definitely want to get this video out today. But yeah. But with Pokemon, you guys are always going to go against your weakness. If there's no Pokemon out there with weaknesses, that's good. But most of the time, you will fight, your weakest. And unfortunately, Jolteon is Lugia's, I would say Achilles heel. But it's not out there that often. And, Ampharos is the same way. A lot of people are running Greninja. A lot of people are running the Charizard. A lot of people are running, Aldino. So those are the decks, this deck really thrives against. Basically any deck I've faced, this has done an amazing job. Like I said, I'm just glad, I was able to make a deck around this card. I built it, just for, just to test it out, just to see how it worked. And you guys seen the video, my older video. But yeah, I do love this card. I'm glad it came out. Unfortunately, is in September, or usually that's when everything cycles out, this deck is going to be no longer useful. But I'm okay. Like I said, I'm taking this to regionals. And feeling, it's going to do good. Love the abilities, and like I said, it's such a lost great card. So a lot of people like them because you guys seen the tool decks at the World Championships. If you guys have not seen the Orlando Championship decks, Lugia was used in the tool deck that that placed second. But yeah, Lugia is a great card. But yeah, if you guys want to build one, they say you can do as many modifications as you want to this deck. This is the one I just built, and I say it runs really well. It's a lot of oddball stuff in it, but it's done well for me. I placed first in tournaments with this. I've placed in the top 5 numerous times. It just plays so well. It plays so fast. And what I like about it is this is the only deck I've ever played. Like Volcanion, when I play that, if I'm pretty much, SOL or pretty much, backed into a corner, I can't do nothing. It's really hard to get Volcanion up. But with this one, even if, say, turn 3 hits, I'm a little bit behind. This deck really bounces back very well. And once you get a good setup, or even just a small, tiny little setup, it just grows really quickly. But yeah, that is my Lugia deck for today. If you guys want, like and subscribe to this channel. I will be posting a few more videos, and I'll be posting up the Volcanion deck here soon. But yeah, also follow me on Twitter at Bonji_EX. It's going to be in the description below. And stay tuned for future videos. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace easy.